Title: The Rising Darkness. Part 6. Kazumori had found peace, yet Kaede could sense an undercurrent, a darkness that refused to fully release the village. Though the shrine honored the wolf spirit and Tsukio's fallen men, whispers of an ancient power growing deep in the mountains unsettled her. It was as if the curse had left behind a wound that the land itself could not heal. One winter's night during the festival of the wolf moon, Kaede had a vivid dream. She saw a cave hidden high in the mountains, filled with an eerie, pulsating glow. Inside, a figure loomed, an emaciated creature with twisted limbs and wild eyes that gleamed with malice. It was a spirit unlike the others she had encountered, one who bore a mark on its forehead resembling the wolf spirit's sigil, yet warped and corrupted. The vision woke her in a cold sweat. She knew she couldn't ignore it. When she told her father, Hiroshi's face grew grim. "Kaede, I've heard tales of a spirit that went mad with vengeance," he murmured, pacing in thought. "They say Tsukio had a younger brother who sought to outshine him. When the curse fell upon the land, this brother was struck down and buried alive by the villagers, who feared he'd rise with the same power as his sibling. His spirit may be twisted by rage and jealousy, bound to the land with a hatred more potent than Tsukio's." Realizing the severity of the threat, Kaede prepared to venture into the mountains once more. She took with her a group of skilled warriors and a young priest named Ren, who had trained under the most revered monks of the region and had knowledge of binding rites. Together, they ascended into the mountains, the air growing colder and more oppressive with each step. After hours of trekking, they finally reached the cave from Kaide's vision. The mouth of the cave yawned like the entrance to the underworld, a stench of decay emanating from within. The warriors exchanged uneasy glances, but Kaede pressed forward, the talisman in her hand casting a faint glow. As they ventured deeper, they could feel the spirit's presence, a thick, malevolent energy that seemed to cling to the walls. Shadows danced around them, twisting into monstrous forms as if mocking their bravery. They came upon a massive chamber, and there, crouched in the center, was the twisted spirit from Kaide's dream. He was the very image of fury incarnate, his face gaunt and his eyes sunken yet burning with hatred. His voice was a low growl that echoed through the cavern. "So, Tsukio's legacy returns," he sneered, "but I am no memory bound by honor. I am Yurai, the forsaken brother, cursed by my own people and denied my rightful place. I will see Kazumori fall for what was done to me." Kaede stepped forward, her voice strong. "The curse that bound you has been lifted. You don't have to continue this path. Let us help you find peace." Yurai's twisted laughter filled the cavern, a sound so chilling it froze Kade's blood. "Peace. There is no peace for those cast aside. The wolf spirit may rest, but my rage will burn this land to ash. Your shrine, your memories, they mean nothing to the Forsaken." Ren, standing behind Kaede, began to chant the binding rites, his voice calm yet insistent. But Yurai only laughed harder, his figure flickering and growing larger, shadows seething around him like a storm. He lunged at Ren, and the young priest stumbled back, his face pale with fear. Hiroshi's warriors charged, their blades flashing in the dim light, but Yurai moved with supernatural speed, evading their attacks effortlessly. He seemed to shift between physical form and shadow, an untouchable force that danced around them. One by one he struck the warriors down, his laughter growing louder with each fall. Kaede realized then that Yurai's spirit had fused with something darker, an ancient force of corruption and wrath. Ordinary weapons could not defeat him. Only by severing his connection to the land and to the wolf spirit's curse could they end his rampage. Desperate, she called to Ren, who had regained his footing. "Ren, we need to channel the wolf spirit's power to bind him. If we can sever his bond to this world, we might have a chance." Ren nodded, his eyes wide but determined. Together, they began a ritual, calling upon the ancient power of the wolf spirit. Kaede held her talisman aloft, its light intensifying until it filled the entire cavern. The spirit of the wolf seemed to awaken, its fierce energy flowing through Kaede and Ren, surrounding them in a protective aura. Yurai shrieked, his form flickering as the light touched him, his connection to the mountain beginning to unravel. But even as he weakened, his fury burned hotter, his form thrashing violently, trying to cling to the last remnants of his power. "Curse you," he spat, his voice distorted. "This land will never be free of me. I am bound to it in blood, in hatred, in the very bones of the mountain." Kaede stepped forward, her voice resonant. "No spirit is beyond redemption, Yurai. Even you can find peace." But Yurai only laughed one final time, a sound full of bitterness and rage. With a violent scream he shattered into wisps of darkness, his form dissipating as the power of the wolf spirit consumed him. The cavern fell silent, a profound stillness filling the air as the last of his presence vanished. Exhausted and shaken, Kaede and her companions left the cave, feeling the weight of what they had faced. As they descended the mountain, Kaede looked back one last time, her heart heavy. She knew that Kazumori was safe for now, but the echoes of the past had left their scars, and she wondered if the land would ever truly forget. In the village, they added a second shrine, one to honor Yurai, a reminder of the power of hatred and the need for compassion. For the people of Kazumori, it was a lesson. Curses could be lifted, but healing the wounds of the past required more than prayers and rituals. It required understanding, remembrance, and forgiveness. And on each full moon, Kaede would stand vigil, her gaze fixed upon the mountain, a silent guardian ensuring that the shadows of the past would never rise again.